What's up guys, and today I'm back with another video. This is gonna be what if Deku was an OP demon. And one more thing, I feel like people forgot the meaning of a demon. Like, demons are evil basically. They don't really understand the concept, or they don't really understand good. They don't know what good is. But the bad things that they do, they see that they're doing good. So obviously Deku's gonna be a villain in this. And one more thing, not one more thing, hold up a sec. Okay, so now we're gonna be starting the video. And if this video's, and like I said you might see it from the title or something. Like I said, this video is gonna be about what if Deku was an OP demon. So we're starting this off with Deku, obviously, and him being born. And this happens. Deku, this few years later, Deku goes to the Crook Doctor. The Crook Doctor says he's quirkless. Hold up. Deku, the Crook Doctor says this, and Deku is instantly broken by this. And like, this is happening in Deku's world of vision, but in the whole other world, different universe, there's a different Deku, and like he's fighting his way, and he's fighting his way to get to the top, like to become the ultimate demon lord. And this is when like all the demons, like, they respect Deku because he's like the most powerful demon of them all. And like everyone's basically respecting Deku and in the underworld because he's the demon lord. And I'm gonna say that that Deku, that in this Deku, this is when like in the other world, in the underworld, the demons are getting attacked by the angels, and a war is starting. This is when the demons are winning, so they figured out the only way that they can somehow win the war is if they defeat Deku. So they do just that. One of them, like, before they die, they shoot an arrow at Deku and hits him in the head, and he dies. Yeah, but like in hell, in hell it's like a whole, it's like in there a bunch of things is happening, a bunch of things. And like in there, like in hell, time is way faster on Deku's like planet, and on Deku's universe, time is going like normal and that stuff. So as Deku is getting bullied by Bakugo, this is when like they're in junior high. Bakugo tells Deku to jump off the school roof, and like while no one is looking, and this is when Deku decides to take a shortcut. He decides to take the shortcut, and this is when the sludge villain attacks Deku, and Deku is kind of like about to die, and this is when All Might appears and saves Deku. And then Deku asks for All Might's autograph, like in canon, and as Deku asks for his autograph, he grabs on to All Might, making the bottle fall that the sludge villain is in. And yeah, so as they heard this, Deku, this is when All Might deforms and turns into like a skeleton person, like turns into a skeleton body thing. And Deku says, "You're not the real All Might," and then he says, "I am the real All Might." So Deku just immediately doesn't even know what to do. He just confused, and this is when he just asks All Might. I mean, like All Might explains to Deku, and then then he gets the gist. This is when um, this is when Deku, like Deku, he really. This is when Deku asks All Might if he can be a hero without a quirk. All Might says, "No, you can't be a hero without a quirk." This destroys Deku even more, making him heartbroken because he didn't want to hear this from his number one hero. And this is when like the sludge villain attacks, and I'm gonna say that All Might. I'm gonna say that Deku still tries to save Bakugo, and he like succeeds kind of. This is when Deku's getting scolded. This is when Deku is being taught a lesson because he was trying to save someone, and the heroes were doing nothing while while this kid was being attacked. So this is when so like I said, Deku is broken completely, and because of how broken he is, because of how broken Deku is, because of how broken Deku is, he um he just walks away, like after they were done telling him to like not ever do that, to like never ever do that again. Gonna get yourself gonna get yourself killed. Deku is like completely heartbroken and emotionless at this point. Like if you don't know what emotionless means, it's like a person that has no emotions at all. And it's because of All Might telling him that he can't be a hero. And because of Bakugo always blaming Deku and telling him that he that that maybe he should jump off the school roof and he have a crook in his next life. No one cares. So as Deku is walking off, this is when All Might stops Deku and tells him about One for All. And Deku legitimately doesn't care. He just tells Deku, he just tells All Might, "I don't want it. Give it to someone else." And then All Might asks to give it to who? He says he knows this good friend of his, quote unquote friend of his, who who would be a good successor for One for All. So he goes to Bakugo and he says, and All Might says, "Wasn't this the kid that was attacked by the sludge villain?" And he says, "Yes, give it to him, not me. I don't want it." So as Deku refuses this, Deku legit Deku Deku goes, like, I'm gonna say clubs are open at this time and they're like getting ready to leave, and the teachers are getting ready to leave as well. You know that? So yeah. Like this is where like at night some kids study in school still and have their clubs. Some and have their clubs. And it's getting ready to and it's all getting ready to like close so they can like come to school tomorrow. So they can like come to school tomorrow. Wait, I'm gonna say that hold up. Back to the Sludge attack where like Bakugo was getting attacked by the Sludge villain. I'm gonna say Deku never went there and saved Bakugo. I'm just gonna say that he saw it and went the other way. Deku didn't even save Bakugo. He just went the other way. So so Deku notices this, and as like as Bakugo was getting attacked by a sludge villain, and like basically losing air. This is when, like, in the other universe where Deku's about to get shot in the head by an arrow from an angel, Deku jumps off his school building, and at the same time he jumps off the building, him, his his demon self, and his demon lord self, and his normal self, like they both like hit their, they both basically hit their head, and that's how they died. They died at the same time and kind of on the same day. And because of this, like, Deku didn't die, but he got his, but he would, but this is like when All Might finally decided to build up the courage and save Bakugo before he died. Cause All Might saw Bakugo stop moving, so he decided to appear and stop the sludge villain. So yeah, so Bakugo gets saved, and yeah, yeah. Actually, Deku did try to save Bakugo. He just got pushed away. So yeah, this is when like he jumps off the roof and everything. I'm just trying to make what I see in my mind, kind of. I don't know. So, uh, Bakugo, I mean Deku is Deku. So when like they both die, the Demon Lord Deku and normal Deku died. They, he tells, his demon self tells Deku that you are split in two. He asks, he asks him how. He says, "Oh, easy. We both died at the same time, but I'm the only and but I'm the only one that's gonna stay dead. You might get another chance at life." So this is when his demon self tells Deku that if you want power, you're going to have, me and you are going to have to fuse our souls together. Like, this is what his demon self is telling Deku. And this is when Deku remembers that Bakugo telling him that if he wants to be a hero, jump off a building and maybe you might have a quirk in your next life. And and All Might telling him that he can't be a hero without a quirk. So he remembers this and tells him, fine. So they shake hands, and it's basically like they fuse their souls together. So this is when Deku's, so this is when, like, after All Might just saved Bakugo, this is when a hospital comes, two of them, like two hospital trucks come, and All Might is wondering who else got hurt. So one of them quickly rushes by. The first one quickly rushes next, like he just goes right through the crowd basically. Like the crowd moves out the way and all that stuff. Like the crowd moves out the way because they didn't want to get hit by the hospital truck. And the other hospital truck goes for Bakugo. And this is when All My ask one of the hospital people, why did the first truck go that way? He said, this is when one of the doctors answers All Might's question, saying some kid tried to commit suicide. And then this is when Bakugo was like kind of like waking up, and he hears like some kid tried to commit suicide. And this is when he remembers Deku, and then this is when like All Might remembers Deku. Like they both remember this at the same time. So yeah, and this is when like Deku is like he's in the hospital now, and he's been in a coma for like 10 weeks, I'll say. Like, yeah, 10 weeks. He's been in the coma for, actually, he's been in the in a coma like ever since ever since summer ended for him. So like 3 days after summer ended, he woke up from his coma. He woke up from his coma and asked the doctors, "Where am I?" He said, "You're in the hospital." One of the doctors said that you're in a hospital. And like I would say that when Deku was in the hospital, one of the doctors is like secretly a villain. So so they injected Deku with some weird thing or whatever, and it's like gonna make him more powerful and OP than he already is. So this happens, and this is the same doctor that's telling him what's going on basically, and like what's happening. Oh yeah, and if you're wondering why I didn't mention about about the like when Bach is like when the teacher basically asks if you all want to be heroes and all that. The reason why is because you should already know, but if you don't know, then ask someone who watches anime, or go on YouTube and search it up or something. Because I don't feel like doing it, and I'm a bit lazy right now. And right now I'm also working back and forth. So yeah. So like this happens. So like continuing on with like the episode where like the thing began, like where the whole episode begins. Deku Deku is Deku is told by the doctor that put the weird liquid in him while he was like in a coma, and like as he was still up, like out of his coma. She tells him to follow me. So this is when she gives Deku clothes. She this person gives Deku's clothes. She gives Deku clothes that Deku's mom gave her, because she said like, when Deku wakes up, I want you to give him these clothes, and that's what she tells him. And then she tells Deku that, I want you to meet me at the train station, at like at the like at the like at this train station at night, and pack your things. And he says, okay. Like he said, and like she says, pack your things. I'm gonna show you like a new version of like life, like how you can get stronger. And I'm gonna say this girl, like she knew like what happened, like how Deku made the deal and all that. Like she's like she's like a fallen angel, like half demon, half angel, and she was reborn into a world where people have like these powers and all that stuff. Because she died in the war where like Deku was in, like Demon Deku was in and stuff. And like I'm gonna say like Demon Deku and her were like, they were like really close. They were close. Hold up. So yeah, Demon Deku and this girl knew each other, but they weren't like in a relationship. They were like just friends. But like she liked Deku though. But Demon Deku just saw them as just friends. Nothing else, nothing more. And I'm gonna say that this person is Toga, but just like way better looking. Like yeah, it's Toga, but like way better looking. I'm gonna show you right now. Just wait. So this is basically Toga in the nurse outfit. Like this is Toga in the nurse outfit, and this is normal Toga. So yeah, this is what I mean by like that. Okay, so like Deku is getting ready. So like, Deku meets up with his mom first before he goes anywhere, and his mom is like, she's like crying because she's glad that Deku is alive and that he's not dead. Basically, like she's just happy that he's alive and that he's not dead at all. So like, so this is when Deku tells his mom that she doesn't want him to like worry about her. I mean, she doesn't want her to worry about him anymore because I could defend myself now. Like like that's what she's basically telling his mom, and she's saying I know, but still, like I know you can defend yourself, but I'm still gonna be worried about you. Like that's what she's basically saying to Deku. Like that's what she's saying to Deku, and as she's saying this, she, as like Deku is going on about about like like before he met his mom, before he met his mom, it was like kind of early in the morning, so he just went to Deku basically telling his mom like how his day was going so far, like, and how like ever since she's been out of the coma. So yeah, like this is what he's telling his mom, and and because of this and because of this this and because of this, like his mom doesn't know that he's running away for to become a villain, and Deku doesn't know that he's going to become a villain. So it's like a circle basically of not knowing. So yeah. So I'm gonna say that Deku. So this is when like Deku, like before he pretends like he goes, like after he's done eating dinner and talking with his mom, he goes to sleep, but like he doesn't really go to sleep. He's just pretending that he's asleep, but he actually goes to sleep for like, he pretends that he sleeps for like 5 minutes, then he actually goes to sleep. But then like 3 minutes later, he wakes up, like it's 12 a.m. and he writes a note to his mom, like saying how much he loves her and how he wishes he can be with her longer, and like he's sorry how he's running away and he's going out of her life again, and like basically how he just came back and now he's leaving again, basically. So yeah, so like as Deku's running away, from home, this is when like this is when he meets up with Toga next to the train station. Much people isn't really around. This is when like she tells Deku. This is when like they get on the train and they start talking. So this is when like they start talking, and she tells him how like what's about to happen, and like she tells him like the first question that she asks Deku is, what do you want to be, like when you grow up? He says, well, I don't know, not I can't be a hero. So then she says, what about a villain? Then he says, how about of being a villain? And he says, yeah, that might work if I can find someone who can give me a quirk and all. She says, I know someone that can give you a quirk. And then Deku is like, you're crazy. You can't gives someone a quirk. And Deku, then Toga says, I'm telling the truth. I know someone who can give you a quirk. And he says, fine. I want to meet this person who can give me a quirk. So this is when they meet. This is when they meet at the bar of where their hideout is. They meet at that bar, and Baku and alright, this is meanwhile, and when Deku's been in a coma for so long, Bakugo thinks he's dead. Like this is when Bakugo tells everybody about what he did, and he just feels guilty about it. So yeah, that Bakugo barely speaks to anybody. He's not so so he's not so mean to everybody. He's not so mean to everybody. He's just pushes everybody away from him, kind of. Hold up. And because of this, this is what gets Umaraka the most closest one to Bakugo is Umaraka. This is what gets Bakugo and Umaraka to go out, and yes, this is a Bakugo x Umaraka thing. So yeah, Deku doesn't really care about if he Deku doesn't really care about what happens to anybody. He just cares about his mom, Toga. He doesn't know why he cares about Toga, but for some reason he cares about her. And he only cares about his mom, himself, and Toga. Those are the only people he cares about. And that he actually sees as family. And I'm gonna say 5 days later, but Deku is been getting to know the League of Villains for a pretty long time. Alright, now this is cliffhanger because I want to, and also because I'm getting really tired. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe for more, and yeah, bye.